Chefs.
We are back bringing more Pendulum content. So I put out a ban list prediction video not too long ago, and me being a biased Pendulum player, I obviously kept putting Electromite from 0 to 1 on that list. Then it got me thinking, what would full power Pendulum look like in today's meta? Or not meta, but in today's game. So how I decided about what full Pendulum was gonna look like, I'm not gonna unban stuff like Pot of Greed or whatever, but I'm just gonna unban cards that directly interact with like Pendulum monsters. Or if they say Pendulum monster in the text, so I'm not gonna like unban Baron or Borreload Savage because they don't really interact with Pendulums. We did put Electromite and Starving Venom to 1. Both of these are not good at multiple copies. We're just gonna keep this at 1. Same for Starving Venom. We're also gonna put Astrograph Sorcerer to 3, and of course, Monkey Board's on its way to 3, so might as well just play 3 of that. At first, I was thinking, yeah, no, Starving Venom and all that shit, I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, FTK requires 2 Starving Venoms. Then I remember Clock Lizard was a card. Now, granted, this is very gimmicky. This is very, this loses to, a lot of interruptions, but FTKs are still FTKs. Pendulum FTK, even with 1 Starving Venom, is still durable thanks to this card. There are other means of just looping back to Starving Venom, like Firewall Dragon. Not this one, the other one, but enough yapping. Let's just get into a combo that I came up with using this particular deck list. So you're going to notice that each of these combos is going to use Joker and Dragon Shrine because this is like the best 2-card combo you could have in this deck. So if you've seen my Pendulum Magician deck profile, you know that, all of this starts off relatively the same. So, Dark Worm, Joker, Search, Wisdom Eye. Wisdom Eye is such an insane card. Like, I wish we had more ways to get to it, but unfortunately, there's only 3 copies of it. So here she is. Here's the gal. Heavy Metal Foes, Electromite. We love. Listen. If my girl in Electromite was drowning, you can catch me at my girl's funeral, popping my pendulum scales and drawing a card and shit. You know what I'm saying? On God, on God. So Electromite, pop in the Double Iris Magician. What's that? Oh wait, this is for the FTK. Yeah. For like the non-FTK version, you don't pop the Double Iris here, but we'll get to that when we get there. So, yep, Gate Magician, summon itself. Yeah, what makes this more consistent is that the new Supreme King stuff that came out in Age of Overlord makes getting to, like, the gates, like, really easy now. So, yeah, they've gotten a lot easier to get to since, like, what, 2018 was when this was, like, possible? Then we make Exceed. I'm fairly certain we just completely skip over Beyond the Pendulum because we just don't need it here. Right? So Wisdom Eye, we're going to place that, we're going to add this to hand, and we're going to Pendulum summon specifically a bunch of Dark Pendulums. Make Starving Venom, make Instant Fusion, make this bitch, this should be banned, or Instant Fusion, no. Instant Fusion should be banned, right? And then, so we had to make specifically an Xyz Cyber so we can get the materials engraved, because Clock Lizard has to banish from the graveyard specifically. So that's going to put Starving Venom back, and then it's just going to refuse it so we can use its effect again to kill the opponent. So yeah, Pendulum FTK is still possible with just 1 Starving Venom. I mean, if we look at OCG and, Mass Duel, nobody's fucking doing this shit. And they have more Pendulum cards than TCG does. I think they have 1 Electromite, 1 Starving Venom, and 1 Astrograph Sorcerer, which if you just imperm this like once, it does just, your whole combo kind of falls apart. And now you're just kind of like, well shit, I have a bunch of bodies that don't do anything right now. I can't just throw all my stuff into an Appaloosa because that card's banned, which is something Master Duel even has. So would this be fine? Probably. I mean, it sucks, but it's like you could theoretically still do it with just 1. Just like how you can theoretically still FTK with gimmick puppets, but nobody's crying about that. Anyways, let's just go over a combo and deck list that doesn't have Starving Venom, but everything else that I mentioned. So not gonna cap, I might actually do another Pendulum Magician deck profile, since I just kind of found out a neat little synergy with Singularity and Masquerena here, which I'll go over in the combo when we get to that point. But yeah, I mean, kind of the same. We just took out the FTK stuff and just put in like more talents. We put in the White Wing because, again, if you guys see my Pendulum Magician deck profile, you'll know that I made use of like Synchrozark and Pen Evolution here. Some really cool stuff, I tell you. You guys should totally check that video out. But enough yapping, let me just get straight into the combo for this one. So like I said, they're all going to start with Joker, Dragon Shrine, because it's just, really good. So basically everything's the same up until the Electromite summon, I believe, where we just pop a different scale. Alright, so this is where it changes up. So with Electromite, we pop the Gate 0 instead of Double Iris because we actually want to, be able to summon out Gate 0 later. And this also saves us the hassle of having to play 2 gate zeros unlike what we have to do in the TCG. We actually also do make Beyond the Pendulum in this combo, so we can just pretend that this second Gate Magician doesn't exist and we can still facilitate this entire combo. But what we summon here is very specific because you need to have 2 monsters with different levels here, so Beyond the Pendulum can pop, and then you just need to leave 1 space open for harmonizing to summon a White Wing Magician, which right now I think White Wing Magician is probably like harmonizing's best like target you could summon because it's another tuner which allows for more synchro climbing plays or whatever. Again, if you've seen, I keep plugging my deck profile, but if you guys seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So Star Pendulum and Pen Evolution, we have so many continuous spells, it's crazy. Now, something I will say that this deck is missing is like Purple Poison. I wouldn't say that this is a perfect combo. I did just throw all this together like just now, so. But yeah, Gate 0, pop, summon that, and then both of these trigger. 0 puts itself in skill, you search Pendulum Graph. There we go, now that we have pen skills, we can go ahead and make entrainment. Do this. And then using Crimson Dragon here. Then we're going to make Masquerena. This is going to summon out the Vortex. Then we're going to make the Singularity. If we summon the IP to like a different zone and then use Exceed to summon like Gate Magician to this zone, what we could do on the opponent's turn is we could use the Time Pendulum Graph, pop the Gate Magician in one of our opponent's cards, assuming they don't have anything in one of these zones, which will trigger Singularity to summon an IP from the graveyard. So then you can have IP in the SP. You also have Singularity that bounces like, I believe, 3 cards because we have an Exceed, a Fusion, and a Synchro on field and engrave. Then we got the 2 Omni negates right here, so I feel like I could still pull off this end board with TCG Pendulum Magician. It's just, we have to play 2 gate zeros and we have to play 2 Beyond the Pendulum, so that's a little unfortunate there, but I think we could still pull this off in TCG, so stay tuned for that deck profile whenever I get around to making it. Now, this last combo I have for y'all is actually completely TCG legal. It was just something funny I threw together, and yeah, for some reason Time Star searches Dark Spellcasters. So right off the rip, you guys are like, what in the actual fuck is this? Well, Exodia, they're all Dark Spellcasters. Time Star searches Dark Spellcasters, and it's not once per turn. Also, Twins of the Eclipse exist, or Eclipse Twins, whatever its TCG name is. And then, we got Firewall that can return shit back to the extra deck. It's very silly. So let me just go over this, because this is just stupid right here. Would you believe it? Joker plus Dragon Shrine gets you anywhere you want to go. I'm probably just gonna skip to where things actually start to switch up. Alright, so this is where things change up slightly. So we're not making Electromite because it's banned. We're making Beyond the Pendulum, which is actually kind of exactly how TCG Pendulum kind of works right now. At least my version of it. So we make Beyond the Pendulum. That's going to search at the second Gate 0 because we do need that. And then we need to summon out specifically these 2. This needs to search Evolution. Then we use this. The 2 donuts pop each other. Then that's going to scale. Make another Beyond the Pendulum. So all of this is standard so far. This being here is just a target. It just needs to be a pendulum that we can summon. That's all this is right now. And we got the pendulum graph. Then we make Exceed the Pendulum, or Exceed the Pendulum. Get Double Iris, Wisdom Eye. This is where we make our first Time Star to search our first limb. And then we also go Wisdom Eye, and then Time Star Protect by dumping another limb. Then we'll go ahead and activate that again. Brings that back. This is going to summon it so we can make, or we can summon that from grave actually. And then Time Star, search another limb. Both of those to Eclipse Twins. And then we do need more links, or link bodies, so this is where the Codebreaker package comes into play. Especially since this perfectly has 3 downward arrows. Oh yeah, we made another Time Star with the Eclipse Twins, so now we got 3 limbs in grave. Then we're going to use Selene, bring that back. Make Firewall Dragon, bring that back, and then we're going to make another Selene. So this needs 2 Selenes to perform, but it is very much doable. Oh my god, what was that? And then there we go. All 5 pieces of Exodia off of just 2 cards. Pretty silly because Time Star exists. So if you guys like these combos and kind of like this insight on what Pendulums would be like if they're at full power, leave that in the comments down below. I'd like to hear you guys, thoughts on this. Share this video with your friends if, you think that Pendulums totally wouldn't be broken with all of their cards back. And make sure you join my Discord server. And until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.
Now I've perfectly demonstrated on why Electromite should be unbanned.